Hello, my name is Joseph Truly, and this is my presentation on initiatives and referendums in Arizona. First, for the definitions. Initiatives are a mechanism enabling citizens to propose new legislations or laws or constitutional amendments by collecting signatures to qualify the proposal for the vote. Referendums are a mechanism allowing voters to endorse or disapprove legislation enacted by the legislator. This may be mandatory for specific types of legislation or optional, triggered by citizen petition. Another one would be direct democracy. Direct democracy is a governmental system wherein policies and legislations are determined by the populace instead of an assembly of elected officials. Direct democracy grants universal participation rights. Arizona's system of government is best described as a representative democracy with strong elements of direct democracy. The creation process for initiatives. Drafting. Citizens formulate the proposed law or amendment. Petition. Collecting signatures from registered voters. 10% of votes cast in the previous gubernatorial election are required for statutory changes. 50% is needed for constitutional amendments. Submission. Present petitions to the Secretary of State for verification. The ballot upon verification of the initiative is included in the ballot for the forthcoming general election. For the creation process for referendums, it would be like this. Legislative referral. The legislator submits a bill to the voters, typically concerning constitutional amendments or taxation matters. Popular referendum. Petition. Citizens collect signatures equal to 5% of the votes cast in the most recent gubernatorial election. Timing would be signatures must be submitted within 90 days of the statutes. Enactment date. Submission would be submit to the Secretary of State for verification. If verified, the law is suspended and referred to the next ballot for a vote. The next one would be comparisons. Okay. Now, an origin initiative. Now, for the origin. The initiative would be proposed by citizens. Well, origin for a referendum would be referred by a legislator or challenged by citizens. For purpose, I would say, in the initiative, purpose, new laws or amendments. Well, the initiative would be that. And referendum would be approve or reject existing laws. The signature requirement for the initiative would be 10 to 15% of the vote from the last gubernatorial election, while for referendums it would be 5% of the votes from the last gubernatorial election. And for timing, once again, placed on the ballot, for the initiative, it's placed on the ballot during a general elections, while for a referendum it must be filled within 90 days of the legislature adjournment. Now, the pros and cons of these kind of things. For initiatives, the pros empower citizens to directly propose legislation, addresses issues that may be overlooked by the legislator, but the cons are like this. This can be influenced by special interest groups with substantial funding. Complex issues may be oversimplified to the ballot, like yes or no questions. For referendums. Pros. Provides a check on the legislative power by allowing a public veto. Enhances democratic participation by involving citizens in decision making. But the cons would be this can delay the implementation of laws. It may be used strategically to block legislation for political reasons. Support for direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution. Arizona exemplifies direct democracy in the United States and enabling its residents to directly influence legislation through initiatives and referendums. Article 4, Part 1. Section 1. The Arizona Constitution stipulates that the populace retains the authority to propose and implement legislation autonomously from the legislator. Citizens can formulate new legislation or constitutional amendments via the initiative procedure. These ideas are submitted from a statewide vote by collecting the necessary number of signatures from registered voters. The referendum process enables voters to endorse or disapprove of legislation enacted by the legislator. The disputed legislation will be subjected to a referendum if enough signatures are amassed. within a designated period. This census-taking stated in 1912, Arizona has adopted these instruments, mirroring the progressive era's focus on civic engagement in governance. These methods guarantee that Arizonans have a direct voice in their government, upholding the concept that ultimate political authority belongs to the populace. In Arizona, initiatives and referendums serve as essential components of a government that is representative of the populace. Note the references I used for my presentation were as follows: Hecht and Briquette, 2025, Government and Society in Arizona, Encyclopedia Britannica. McClory, 2010, Understanding the Arizona Constitution, University of Arizona Press. The Merriam-Webster's Dictionary of Law, 2016, Merriam-Webster. And Ross, 2012, Arizona's Progressive Constitution, 100 years ago. Thanks for listening to my video. Bye.